to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcast are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm Brian. This is actually a TWP Extra. It's the post-game show of Michigan State losing to Kansas State. Let's go live to Kevin for your reaction.
Kevin's going to punch his computer, and then he'll have to do it with like a shattered screen. You know?
Kevin's a future TikTok video of him breaking his TV like an idiot.
Yes.
Where's Simon? Can we get Simon to make a message for Brian?
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
International Heat, our guy Simon, back in Australia, texted me, and he was glad to be part of the TWP universe, even though my phone auto-corrected and said you were not part of the TWP universe. So sorry, Simon, that was a typo.
Conflicting messages.
You are totally part of the universe now.
Yeah. Simon's in. There's no escaping, and Kev, it's no consolation. But that was a hell of a game. Honestly, that was the best basketball game I've seen in a long time.
Too bad Michigan State didn't know what to do with the ball in the second overtime. Five passes
they did
to then just kick the ball and strip
everything else was good until then.
It was an interesting strategy by Izzo. I mean, you would expect to shoot the ball and not just kick it down the other side of the court. But that's why they call him Mr. March.
And he's like, well, Coach K left this year. Maybe I'll retire and maybe I'll go to the NBA for a couple of years.
I will say this. Basketball, the last basketball comment I'll make tonight,
Doubtful.
The inbounds play was terrible. Wrestling comment, we don't do what are you wearing? Jay, your Adam Bomb shirt is fucking phenomenal.
It's the combo with the glasses too.
That is fantastic.
Thank you. You know how I do. I'm really close to starting an Instagram for my wrestling shirt collection. Emil J from GCW, ring announcer. He does a new shirt every day, and I would do that on Twitter, but I think my shirt collection is so grand it deserves its own Instagram account. Much like my dog, my shirt doesn't have thumbs, but it might need an Instagram, just like my dog, who does not have thumbs but has an Instagram. So
nice.
Do you have 365?
Oh yeah.
That is a leap year coming up. Do you have 366?
I have a lethal leap year shirt you can borrow if it is.
I've never thought of it like that, but that's interesting. Maybe I started April 1st, WrestleMania to WrestleMania, which April 1st, also the 2-year anniversary of That Wrestling Podcast. This is the, other than my marriage, this is the longest relationship I think I've ever had.
And that's not an April Fool's joke.
No, that's for real.
All right. Well, we'll look for that, Jay. That'll be awesome, man. It's a collection that deserves the notoriety that it.
Now, it's definitely not like wrestling for sale, or it's not all the $500 vintage wrestling shirts. But I think I got a cool mix.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and next weekend is WrestleMania, and I believe Wrestling for Sale is doing another pop up with the Cheap Heat guys. And my WrestleMania schedule has. Let's just say it's increased since we spoke last.
Oh.
Let me run down what I've got going on next week.
Which
Thursday, FTR Live with Dax. I bought the VIP, so there is a tequila tasting after. He said on his podcast this week that this isn't like everyone's lined up, you shake a hand, you snap a photo. It's kind of like a social event. So I'm kind of excited for that. Our pet sitter is unavailable, and I don't like to put the dog in boarding for more than a couple days, but because it costs just as much for me to fly someone out. So my nephew from Ohio is coming out. I'm going to take him around LA and Hollywood on Friday, and then we're going to go to SmackDown in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Then Saturday is day one of this. It's an event. It's called WrestleMania. You might have heard of it. And then day two is the sequel, another day of WrestleMania. And then
too big for one night.
I'm going to Raw after Mania.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
I cannot believe I'm going to do this. 5 straight days. I'm not doing WrestleCon or any of the indie shows, but I am. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, yet is the key phrase.
No NXT stand and deliver. You pulled the double last year.
I did, but like,
I didn't know where's the arena compared to the stadium. Are they even close? I don't even know.
I mean, close, but it's LA Trav. Everything takes at least an hour. Right. And parking at the stadium is going to be insane because it's 100,000 people. And WrestleMania week is picking up for me pretty big. And, it's just me again because nobody wanted to come out and go to WrestleMania with me this year. So I don't know if it'll be a vlog type situation or just a highlight. Oh, I guess Brian didn't like that comment. It was actually directed at him. It was actually.
Can you still hear me? I'm so embarrassed. I turned off my video. Yes.
If he comes back with an airplane ticket that says LA.
Yeah, my wife would be happy. But then I just blew money on my nephew to come watch the dog for 3 days. But anyway,
so you didn't invite Brian to come just to watch your dog?
He didn't want to come for WrestleMania. He sure as fuck ain't going to come just to watch the dog.
I like dogs. Come on.
I know you do, but nah.
All right.
So, it'll be a pretty eventful WrestleMania week for this guy. So
that's awesome.
Because I'm not going. I have no intention of going to Philadelphia next year. Because who the fuck wants to sit outside in the cold in Philadelphia in March? No thanks.
It very well may be that way, depending on when it's April. So
April it could be the end of March.
It could be end of March. Yeah.
Because next year, March 31st will be on a Friday or on a Saturday next year.
Okay, so maybe they do
it very well.
And first.
It could be. It could be a WrestleMania too big for 1 month.
Wow! Look at that tagline. That's 42. So there's a lot of marketing possibilities there.
It's the XL Mania with a XL multiple months. So
I think it needs to be that now. I'm with you. Well, let's we can't wait. I obviously off the air we're going to talk about sort of what sort of content you'll be able to produce for the podcast and the YouTube and everything. It's going to be a completely epic. But we'll get down to business, I guess. We'll start. Let's go back to SmackDown, where Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they are back together. Cody, he tried to play peacemaker. KO wasn't having it. He ends up driving away after Sami told him he loved him, but he comes back after the Usos were beating down Sami, evens the odds, and they embrace as we go off the air. With an incredible line by Michael Cole. Truly great friends are hard to find. They are difficult to leave, and they're impossible to forget. I'm willing to get my very first tattoo if you guys all want to do that with that line of Michael Cole.
I'm in.
I already have a tattoo, so I don't need it.
Just kidding.
Joe, you're so weak.
Come on.
I'm kidding.
But no, by the way, did you guys catch Cody looking down as like proud papa on the TV?
From the side though. Yeah. Like he wasn't actually looking at the TV. He's like looking over here and the TV's here. Like, I don't understand. I mean, come on.
That's the moment that actually and believe me, I love the moment. But when going back to Cody, just grinning, it felt funny. Like a little. Yeah, of course it was not needed, cheesy, but I love the moment, especially earlier in the crowd. The crowd was yelling, "Hug it out," you know. So it was great.
Joe, how did you feel about how the moment, the reunion, how it all went down?
Oh, it was exactly the way it was supposed to be. Loved every second of it. Michael Cole, again, master at storytelling in the past year, made it even bigger than it already was. The crowd was into it. And I actually liked how they incorporated Cody into this too, to make it all seem bigger than it really is. And it's it evens out the odds of the blood against the bloodline. So, and I like that you mentioned how he contacted Kevin Owens when he was getting ready to quit WWE and go back out into the wild, basically. Yeah. So it brought them all together. Big fan.
Yeah, that's a great thread of connecting it all, because that's not part of any produced story that actually happened. And so that's
Right.
how you bring that to the TV. Jay, what's your thoughts on SmackDown and how that all went down and moving forward?
I'm not a softie like the rest of you, because when at WrestleMania it's revealed Sami and Roman put this all together to get rid of the Kevin Owens problem, you will all acknowledge me for knowing this was what was it, Brian? Is it a Woot or a Schwerk? I'm not sure which one we
Schwerk is the
we went with
more
Schwerk,
established one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woot is underground.
I think this is all a scheme, all a plan by the almighty tribal chief to get the world right again.
Wow.
And
could you imagine?
Yeah.
So if that happens, we all getting tattoos.
we have to
removing
get
the tattoo.
We have to get the tribal arm all the way down.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
No,
I didn't know you were Samoan.
I might need to become some. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have seen my 23andMe results. It's crazy. It's like 95% Samoan. Who knew?
Yeah. My family came from the island of relevancy.
That's awesome. So we had that. And then on Monday, we had another show closing promo from Roman and Cody. Roman talking how Cody runs away. And Cody planting the seeds of the bloodline dissension, talking about everyone in the group leaving him all alone. Kev, I know you were a big fan of this on Monday night.
I was.
There goes that pen.
Yeah, it's out of here. Like immediately after I think I texted, I could watch them two just promo battle all day long. I loved it. And it's when one gets the zinger or the, you know what I mean, says something really good. I'm like, how's Cody going to come back from that? And then he comes back, and then it's back and forth. It's these two are made for each other. As good as Brock and Roman were in the ring countless amount of times, Cody and Roman are fantastic on the mic. I hope, fingers crossed, I will pray that the match at Mania is as good as all these promos, because these promos have been absolutely amazing. I love it.
If it's not, will you get the Cody neck tattoo?
Maybe I'll get the Cody temporary tattoo because I still have an office job.
Tattoos are pretty mainstream now.
One thing I did find slightly humorous is when Cody referred to all the young fans as his little nightmares.
Oh, yes. Yeah, is that going to stick? I don't know.
Yeah,
little nightmares.
It's a little weird, but the crowd loves him. The kids love him.
Yeah,
and I love those two guys.
I did make a WWE shop purchase, Cody related.
Nice.
I bought the pint glass.
Nice.
Is it the tattoo?
Yeah,
logo on there?
I actually bought the WrestleMania pint glass, and I needed like $2 more to get free shipping, but of course I had to spend $24 to get the pint glass. Yeah. But when I don't want to, like, if there are things I can get ahead of time, so I don't have to carry it around, I am. So I got the pint glass, and then for some reason, Joe, you'll know a little bit more about this than Brian, at least to my knowledge. You know how they make those mini football helmets?
Yeah.
Like, they made a WrestleMania mini football helmet. So it was only $25. So I bought it. And it's funny.
Is that a football stadium?
Yeah, but they're all at football stadiums anymore. And they didn't have that last year. They'll probably do the football jersey again, like they do for the big events. But yeah, so what's funny, I ordered the two glasses and the helmet for the shelf. The helmet and the glass don't ship until like May. I'm like,
oh jeez.
I'm like, wow. If I had known that, I probably wouldn't. I'd have just waited to buy it next week at the superstore. But
right.
But
you don't have to carry it until May.
True. I mean, yes, like Kevin's right. The promos are pretty amazing. It's great storytelling. And is there any chance Heyman turns and goes with Cody?
No. I mean, there's always a chance, but I'm gonna go less than 20% chance that happens, because you can never say never, especially during WrestleMania time.
He refers to him as Mr. Heyman. You know, I mean, and
well,
Heyman is known.
He made
Heyman
his point.
Heyman is known to do this, though.
Yeah, but he made his point to respect Heyman when he said he gave Dusty the job in ECW when they needed it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But and you know, of course, none of you are thinking that, so I have to think like that because none of you are thinking like that for the sake of the show.
Yeah, I am a fan of the it's straightforward of the unconquerable Roman and the new chosen one Cody, and there should be fireworks at the end of the night when Cody wins.
Yeah,
it should
get
into that next week more.
Yeah, I don't need to think of anything of a swerve or something different because the story is completing. It's like they wrote the story already, and we already know the ending. And this is something I've talked about as well. It's like we knew the ending of the Avengers movies. It didn't make it less exciting of a story. So why do you want to change the ending just to, you know, be clever? Just give us what we want.
Well, I don't want it.
Well,
I want Roman to stay champ for another 1,000 days.
Why?
Because it's awesome. It's an amazing story. This should be getting like Emmy nominations. It's that good. Every part of it. To my knowledge, there has been nothing that has missed on this story over the last 3 years.
Okay, Brian, the Avengers is a comic book movie.
No.
You may not.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to do that.
So what's not funny is that no one can see the chat, Joe. So like you reacting to something Brian put in the chat doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it does to me because he's laughing on video.
Joe, for the listeners and viewers, Joe made that nod of like, you knew how the Avengers movie would end, but it doesn't make it less enjoyable. I have not seen the Avengers movie, so I put in the chat. I don't know what you mean. I don't know the ending, but your point still remains.
Brian, there's only 27 movies you have to watch to catch up. So. Guardians comes out in May, so you've got some time. One movie a night. It's all on Disney Plus. Go make that happen.
Get back into it. Or start to get into it, I should say. It's been going really good. I like that they're not going to touch, it doesn't seem, until Mania. We're promo. Maybe next week there's a contract signing on SmackDown. You know, maybe, who knows, do something stupid like that.
There has been no contact, right?
No.
Because, you know, at the end of Raw, they had that little interaction of Cody with Solo.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I won't be surprised if on Monday's Raw that's a match, or maybe even SmackDown. I think you will have that, but I don't think. Yeah, they're not going to touch, and that was, I think, for last year when it was Brock and Roman again. It was for this one. It's like, oh, this is a first time match, and they're not touching, and they're going together. That makes it just that much more exciting.
Well, it's the first time one-on-one match. But they've
faced
each other before. If you remember the Rhodes versus Shield,
yes,
to
that was
get
a
their
great
job.
match.
So where Dusty was in the middle with the fist. Yeah, like so. This isn't the first time they've wrestled each other.
That's
the first time it's one-on-one.
I mean, they're so different from back then, right?
Right.
I mean, they're completely different, both of them. So, it feels fresh in that respect. Next week we'll have our WrestleMania preview. Cannot wait to get into it. It's looking like a fantastic card. Up next, though, we're going to talk about my headline is this Goldberg? A favorite prank call of mine. Shout out to, it was Roy D. Mercer who did that prank call with Goldberg. Look that up, kids. It's reported that Goldberg is officially a free agent. He did not re-sign with WWE. Tony Khan was asked about this in a recent interview, said that is something he is monitoring closely. The word is that Goldberg does want a retirement match. Now, whether that means literally one last match, we shall see. But hypothetically, okay, would you like to see one last Goldberg match in AEW or anywhere else? And if you do, who would you like to see as his opponent, Jay?
All right. I've been thinking about this a lot, and it makes sense. I've got it all mapped out. If he's to return to WWE, It's next week against Lashley at WrestleMania.
Okay.
If he decides,
if
he decides to go elsewhere, and I know if anyone has listened to this show for an extended period of time, my thoughts on AEW signing free agents, I am 100% in for him signing with AEW because it makes total sense for him to go back to Turner where he was made. And a match against Kenny Omega, I'm down. Whether it goes 4 minutes, 40 seconds, or an hour, like the allure of a Kenny Omega versus Goldberg, I love it.
That's fun.
You could have Goldberg lead a faction of Wardlow and Hobbs. I know Brian Cage is allegedly on the way out, who Cage on Twitter shot his shot for the match against Lashley at WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd be down for it. But have Goldberg lead the Haas crew on AEW, or this is a stretch, he could be MJF's uncle.
Or cousin second removed. Yep, I'm with you 100%. Maybe we could do a re-bar mitzvah when Goldberg debuts.
With Uncle Bill there.
Uncle Bill.
Uncle Billy.
I am in 100% if Goldberg goes to AEW. I think I have mapped out 3 or 4 potential ways to get Bill in and why. And AEW Saturday night at 6:05 could use Goldberg. Maybe his final match would be against Sting. Did Goldberg and Sting ever match up back in the day, Joe?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was when it was Sting's failed heel turn of '99. They faced off against each other.
So that was more like the Sting.
That was when it was Sting. Yeah.
And but that's the one thing when you talk about him going to AEW is they have done a great job with Sting. You know, Sting's not wrestling every week. He's not cutting promos every week. He comes in every now and again. He's in a 6-man tag or a tag team with Darby. He does selective things. We don't need what I hated about Goldberg's run for a lot of this WWE was him showing up out of nowhere and saying, "I'm next." And it's him and whoever the next pay-per-view for the championship, him and Roman, for example. I don't think Tony Khan would do that.
Sting's undefeated streak is better than Jade's.
Sting hasn't lost?
Nope.
See? So there could be some things on the up and up for Goldberg. Kev, what do you think? Would you want one retirement match for Goldberg? If you do, what's your plan?
This is the thing. Retirement match, sometimes WWE likes to have the guy retiring, take one on their back, put someone over. And I still think of Kurt Angle losing against Corbin, and I hate it. If he goes to AEW, I can't imagine him losing. I can imagine him maybe passing the torch to a Wardlow in that sense, because Wardlow's kind of there, right? But I would prefer to see
reheat Wardlow. Yeah.
I would prefer to see Goldberg make his GCW debut at Harpo's in there. He won't legitimate, but I would love it if he could just do a couple tour stop dates of the indies and then maybe do one last match, maybe a big one, SummerSlam, maybe in Detroit. But I do love Jay's idea of Lashley. I didn't even think of that. I think that would
Nick Gage at Harpo's.
Oh, shit.
Right.
but I do think the surprise if Lashley comes out and says, "Give me someone." I can't help it if Bray got hurt, and then you hear Goldberg's music. That's goosebumps. That's goosebumps moment right there.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be the rubber match anyway? Because don't they both have a win against each other?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's forgotten about, no build, but doesn't really need one. If he goes AEW, I'm on board with Jason's if it's one match, Sting. Because it doesn't hurt anybody, and they have the history, and you don't need to build that up. It's Goldberg Sting on TNT, and Tony Khan's a total fanboy, so he would do that and make it a big time event they'd have a throwback Nitro night or whatever. Even though they couldn't use the name, they'll call it Throwback Thunder.
Oh, you can't use that one.
TT.
They try can't either.
Did we throw back lightning?
Yeah. Well, they already called their show Dynamite.
Or Typhoon. Or Tsunami.
Or
Earthquake.
Partly cloudy.
Partly cloudy. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Light drizzle.
Oh, tune in tonight on AEW Hazy.
Hazy. Yes. Chance of fog.
With all Z's.
Yeah. My answer to Goldberg, one match, who would it be against? My answer is no. I don't want to see it. I'm done with Goldberg. That's my answer. Listen, of course I'd watch, and you guys have brought up some fun ideas, and I'd be down for any of that, of course. But for me, no, I'm not clamoring for one more Goldberg match. We've been there, we've done that. Goldberg, I think, came back for his one last match against Brock at Survivor Series. I think that was 2016.
It was.
That's 7 years ago, guys. 7. We don't need any more Goldberg in our lives.
Yeah, but he only wrestles once every 18 months.
That's fine. I've had enough. It's enough. It's enough for me. We got the
and
one
in those
match.
7 years, the combined time of his matches is less than an hour. So how have you had enough?
Probably not. Because that's
hater.
who he is. That's who
no,
he is.
I'm not.
Enough,
that's not a hater.
enough.
That's Brian's a hater here. I'm being
That's
serious.
fine.
It's probably less than an hour in those 7 years.
That's okay. Most of those matches were average to below average. I'd say the first Brock match was fun because that was an out of nowhere one.
Unexpected.
The Mania one with Brock was fun. The Lashley ones were pretty good. And I mean, the Undertaker one at Saudi was terrible. Oof. And everything else, I don't really remember much. Him and Ziggler
Strowman
was just
I don't
think that was great.
Where no one was there.
No crowd.
But the Ziggler one was awesome because of how Ziggler just got bent in half and kept going, is that all you got?
We knew that'd be the greatest spear of all time, thanks to Dolph Ziggler's amazing selling. So yeah, I'm done. But listen, if it happens, I'll watch. Maybe they'll put in something good. Like I said, they've done good things with Sting, so I'm not gonna, immediately poo-poo it. Just if it doesn't happen, that's okay by me.
That's Joe's job.
Yeah.
I was the positive one on it. I want to see him and Sting.
Next on TWP Rivals, Jason and
I'm not a hater.
Next on A&E's Legends, Charlotte. Joe, did you double cancel A&E on your Hulu subscription or whatever?
No, I'm done. I don't. I'm not going to watch it, so it's no big deal.
All right, I'll give you the.
They're scraping the bottom of the barrel that they're doing multiple 1 hour episodes. What was it, Jerry Lawler and Paige? Come on.
Yeah.
I was actually a little surprised they still went through with the Paige one, but they did, and that's fine. But
did anybody watch it? Because I didn't.
I watched half.
Anything about the sex tape and her going out of control with drugs in Del Rio?
Actually, yes. They did it. They didn't name the specific names, but they showed her tweet of, a video of mine has been unreleased without my permission.
Wow.
And she talked about how that affected her. And without naming Del Rio, she literally did say something of the lines of cocaine. I got into drugs, which that's the first time I've heard that admission. So yeah, they actually did go there, which I didn't know they would. But yeah, so
did she thank her co-star Jason Marchuk for getting her past that and finding a new life?
They showed her at the premiere, and they talked about DJ texting her, meaning Dwayne Johnson, of course. So they went into that, but Jason's part must have made the cutting room floor. Even though, again, you did an interview with A&E team at SummerSlam last year, so I don't know how that happened. So yeah, that part was interesting, but yeah, the documentary ends with basically anyone who was talking about her going she can do whatever she wants, the sky's the limit, the future is bright, and the whole time you're just she's in AEW and she was good for about a week, and now she's in this weird heel group that's the Outsiders, and it's all bizarre.
Get it right. It's not
Outcast,
the Outsiders.
Excuse me. Yes. My no disrespect to a Hall of Nash.
Charlotte, though, that's a weird one. I mean, it's a current superstar. Like we don't need like they're running out of people if they're doing current superstars already.
Right. Right.
Give me the Dudley boys.
Yes.
Well, even like I thought the rival of Brock Roman was a little premature, even though it's one of the better rivalries of current times.
They got enough footage at least. Yeah.
That'll be
this week.
Run out of everything?
Yeah. What about El Torito versus Hornswoggle? Come on.
Oh, just show me the WLC match. That's it. Just show it 3 times in a row in a 1 hour episode. That's it.
That is amazing. Love that.
Speaking of the Dudleys, why does the rivals have to be one-on-one? Why can't it be rivals, Dudleys, Hardys, Edge, and Christian?
Absolutely.
Oh, is that a little foreshadowing?
Well, no, because none of them work there anymore. Edge is the only one that works there.
But Paige is on AEW and they did one for her. So, and Jake the Snake, it doesn't work there either. They did one for him.
Yeah, but
it's A&E's. It's like they can do it, and it's like, you know.
Yeah, but they probably did the Paige one before she signed with WWE.
Clearly, yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and coming up is Yoko, right? Are we going to get the same exact thing as we got with Icon?
Oh yeah,
I'm still waiting for the Lex Luger Icon to come out.
Like
I'm still waiting.
I'm still waiting for Vladimir.
Super fan.
Yes, give me that, please. Well, nevertheless, A&E will roll on. But let's talk about, as we already teased, maybe Goldberg AEW. We'll talk about Dynamite a little bit. We got the AEW debut of El Hijo del Vikingo as he took on Kenny Omega in the main event of Dynamite. Guys, I think you could take this anywhere you want. You could talk about his performance, maybe Kenny's performance, the match itself, or even I saw a lot of back and forth online about the billing of this as a quote-unquote dream match. So there's a lot to take in here, and I open the floor to you guys. Jay, if you want to start on just thoughts on all of it.
So I don't know if you guys are, speaking other languages.
¿Cómo estás?
El Mijo de Vikingo means gymnast in Spanish.
Clearly.
I don't know if it was a dream match per se, but it was entertaining. However, there was a lot of moments where it's like, I'm going to jump on the rope. Oh, wait, I got to catch my balance. Like, too many 100%. Times for me.
100%.
Yeah, it was cool. Vikingo, seeing him on GCW, it was cool to have, AAA representation, but another title belt that has nothing to do with AEW on AEW TV. Like, that's the stuff I don't get. This is Tony Khan just being a mark. Like,
and it wasn't a title match.
No, it was just let's throw a couple guys together, and it just doesn't. Like, that's the shit you do when you're a kid and you're fig fed. And this is the world's biggest fig fed. And the kid, Tony Khan, did it again. I don't want to see any more of this unless he signs with AEW.
Bingo. That's exactly what I thought. So, one, I had no idea who the hell he was. I'll be very honest. Jay, I'm going to guess you were the only one who truly knew who he was.
Well, I've been sending you guys videos
outside of the videos of like the last couple days.
First match I've seen of him.
Yeah,
I've had you blocked for the past 2 weeks.
Right.
I enjoyed the theatrics. If he's going to be there for long term in AEW, I would have liked to see maybe a different finish versus Kenny just winning. I thought he was damn good. I thought he was, for some reason, I know this is sound really bad. I thought he was a little person when he started walking down
wow,
the
he's
aisle.
Smaller than I thought he would have.
Yeah, very, very, very small in stature. I was very entertained, and they gave that match pretty long time.
A match like that. Sorry, Kevin.
You're good.
A match like that. Fuck picture in picture.
Thank you.
That shit needs to stop. Reformat your show. If this is a dream match, I think there were 2 commercial breaks in that match, and it started at 35. So it was a 25-minute, but like knock off picture in picture. There's got to be better ways to do this.
Yeah, do what they used to do. Like basically let the audience see the entrance while you take a long commercial break, and then they come back and it's like, we're live for the rest of the way.
Yep.
They like you can get all the sponsors stuff in there, because as a sponsor, yeah, you're getting your spot in, but the audience is mad at you for ruining the match.
They're not watching the commercials.
They're not watching the commercial. They're just basically annoyed. So,
and I'm not watching picture-in-picture either.
Neither am I.
I flip into the lane again.
Loses me.
I think this match, like basically, it's like you said, it's fig fed. This is something that you would do at a house show when you're in their territory. Have them face each other, and have it just be for the crowd, and then that's it. It didn't have to be on TV to be entertaining, because it was for the crowd anyway. If you have picture-in-picture twice, it's not about the TV match. So I thought it should have just been, that's a house show match. It was cool, but picture-in-picture ruins it for me. It slows it down. It's a train wreck.
So you're saying Justin Roberts didn't have to talk about Kenny Omega for 4 minutes leading up?
What the fuck is that shit about? Like, I don't get it.
That's what he does.
It's fucking corny. It doesn't make sense. He's from Winnipeg. What the fuck does North Carolina have to do? I don't know.
891 miles.
They've always done that. Dumb. They've always done it, and I've never understood it, but I take it as that's what they do.
Is it because is it because he thinks he's a Michael Jordan of professional wrestling, and they announced Michael Jordan in the 90s as from North Carolina?
But is that it?
Maybe.
I'm guessing yes.
The aforementioned Emil J from GCW tweeted, "I could have done that intro with no note card." So that's fucking awesome. He's the guy.
I like him a lot.
He's the guy.
I was incredibly impressed by El Hijo Vikingo. I actually heard his name was it was translated to the mini Dabakato. I saw that online, because if you look at the guy, he kind of has the same hair and kind of look. But no, the dude's incredible. I was laughing at what he was doing, because I was just like, what the hell is this? And everything you said, Jay, about like, oh, I'm waiting here, completely true. I would not probably consider this one of my it's match of the year.
No way.
Because honestly, it was just the showcase for, look at all the crazy shit Vikingo can do. Kenny didn't do anything out of the ordinary.
Real quick about Kenny. Here's what's interesting about Kenny, and I don't know if it's just happenstance. Last week during the triple threat, and last on Wednesday, this match, he's been wearing white tights, majority white, like it's all the different colors. I think this last week and this week is the best version we've seen of Kenny Omega on AEW.
Okay.
Joe, I know you were very disappointed, much as I was with his
everyone
title reign.
Disappointed in his title reign, but yeah, this is the best version of him as well.
No block, I just and maybe it's the
no costumes,
the color. I don't know, no Space Jam, no it's
Ghostbusters.
I think the last 2 weeks have been really good Kenny Omega, whereas prior
it's close. I think the best Kenny Omega has still been the first couple months of AEW.
I don't know about that either.
Well, it was nice to see him. It's way better in his title match.
Yes, singles match.
Yeah, I think that was my okay. We're getting down to business. I said last week I wouldn't have been surprised if he stepped up to MJF in the Winnipeg show last week, and he didn't. So we'll see. There's obviously something going on that post match angle with Don Callis faking the hit by Hangman Page, and where is that going to go? That's one of those. Okay, let's live in the wrestling bubble, because
can we predict? Can we do a prediction game on this?
We can. Let me finish my point real quick. Just this is next week when Kenny goes, Hangman, why did you hit Don Callis? And the rest of the world is going to have to block out. Yeah, you couldn't have pulled that up on YouTube to see what really happened. Right? Hey, we're wrestling fans. We'll let it slide. But yes, prediction game. Go ahead, Jay. If you want to start us off, of course.
Don Callis is behind the Young Bucks attack.
I could see that.
because
he wants Kenny all to himself.
Kenny needs the spotlight.
Yeah.
Harley, my dog Harley agrees.
He didn't kind of like say that in that little backstage right before the match.
He was like they're going to be fine. We don't need them.
Yeah. So he's planting that seed.
And AEW used the WWE methodology. They had storytelling at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And, cowboy shit now includes Grand Theft Auto.
Excalibur.
Just arriving at the right moment.
Ambulance. But I like that it feels like, okay, there's a story here. That's what AEW.
Because there was no story for the main event.
No, there's no story for the main event. It happened post-match, so we got something. And I was just going to say, that was the whole, just really MJF Daniel Bryan thing. There was no story. It was just the whole match after match after match to earn that shot. And it was just like, this is boring me, man. So I thought it was another.
We can just move on because no one's going to have a better storyline than me. But that's just.
I have to.
Yeah,
I have to ask.
Kidding.
It's not a storyline. It's a comment. I need to know who posted on the socials of, did Renee make the Blackpool Combat Club? Is it called Circuit or Cricket?
Cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Social team was on last night during. They were on something. Maybe they had some of my edibles. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those sweatshirts are terrible. And are they now just Blackpool Wrestling? They're not the Combat Club anymore because BCC is too close to BBC. Come on.
Well, then
Any and all the above
hated his, and he just ripped it off at one point. So
Renee and the Cricket.
By the
I loved it.
By the way, quick update. I pulled up on Twitter, and Tony Khan has announced that at the Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor, we're getting El Hijo del Vikingo against Commander, who was in that match like maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it was another ladder match.
Good.
It's this one is for the AAA mega title, so at least we have a title actually on the line.
Brian, I thought you were going to say it was going to be Goldberg on a
pole. Goldberg versus El Hijo del Vikingo. I've changed my mind. I want to see this retirement match. But the one move of all the crazy shit he did, the one move that I just probably laughed the most at was the one where he was outside of the ring, standing on the middle turnbuckle, facing the crowd, and jumped straight up and did like a twist and a somersault to land on Kenny in the ring. I was just like, what the fuck? What is this?
Gymnast.
It's gymnast. Yeah, he's insane. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I am definitely going to be watching him whenever he's going to be on from now on.
Wait, does that mean you're going to buy the Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor pay-per-view? What?
Wait, what night is that? Is that night one? Oh, that's Friday.
That's next Friday.
If there wasn't SmackDown and the Hall of Fame,
okay.
It's crazy how that worked out. The other thing that we want to talk about with Dynamite, FTR, they challenged the Guns to a match. I don't think they said when the match is, Jay.
I think it's next week.
Is it really? Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't waiting to see them say like at All Out or whatever. But
their contract's up next Friday.
Right. So after a couple of refusals of like, we want to have this match, the Guns agreed. FTR loses. If they do lose, they will leave AEW. Dax also tweeted this week that him and Cash have decided what they are doing next. As April supposed to be their last bit of this AEW contract. Guys, what is your guess on what FTR will do?
Joe?
They're going to lose and they're leaving. They're done.
Kevin,
AEW, and I hope so.
And they'll show up Monday after Mania.
Wow. You're both wrong. They're re-signing and they're going to win the titles.
That's what I say too. Yep.
It's just the ultimate swerve because of the story that, we don't know what we're going to do. Oh, wait, we know what we're going to do. Oh, wait, we're signing up for a loser leaves town match. So all the I would be very surprised if they lose and then end up on WWE. But if that's next Wednesday, I'm at that live show next Thursday.
That's what I was just going to say. You can take
some.
Hey, you want to take a little agave, Dax?
Maybe we'll. Yeah, maybe I can get the exclusive.
Kind
of like
Sean Ross Sapp here. Yeah,
kind of like that whole Saudi Arabia bought the WWE.
You could start it off, man. I'm with you. I think they're re-signing. I mean, I'm sure there's a million factors, right? Of course there are, but Jay, you could probably speak on one of them. I would think if they were to go to WWE, Dax would have to end the podcast.
Not necessarily. Bruce has the podcast still.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Jarrett had his when he was with WWE, even though it was brief. Angle still did stuff with WWE after he started. Now, not full time, but still. Jim Ross, Foley. I mean, this podcast. I mean, knowing our history, none of you have listened to it. Even though I say every week, you really got to listen to this podcast. So none of you have listened to it. I guarantee it. 100% to 0.
What are you talking about? I listen to it every week.
No, you. Okay, it's not as funny as it was the first time.
It's hilarious. It keeps getting funnier. Kevin laughs. Kevin's laughing.
Drink some more of that peanut butter jelly milkshake stout beer. Now Kevin's out. Okay, whatever. You fuckers. Trying to do a show here.
And those of you who are listening and not watching, they're being funny.
Yeah, we're
off their cameras.
It's hilarious. Okay, the FTR podcast, Dax podcast, Jay. Yes, go ahead.
None of you have listened to it. Not even once.
Correct.
Joe?
No, I haven't.
Brian?
Joe was disgusted that you asked that. Like,
I'm disgusted to be your friend. What was that?
Brian's like, new computer. Who dis?
What was that Michael Cole saying about how your friends are supposed to be your friends, but they suck?
I gotta check on my tattoo. Where did I put that? It's out here somewhere.
Lower back.
I'm sure it's good, Jay. There's only so many hours of the day, brother. I'm sorry. I believe you.
I
always read the news stories on it.
Okay.
What do you like?
His Adam Bomb t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving him a compliment.
And if you're listening, I'm wearing an Adam Bomb t-shirt.
Yeah.
And matching red sunglasses.
Holy shit.
Because I'm cool like Joe, because he wears sunglasses. Because no one's going to know it's him.
FTR.
Nope. I learned that from the Marvel movies, which Brian has never seen any of them.
No, Joe, the disguise for Marvel movie is sunglasses and a plain hat.
Yeah.
You got a plain colored hat.
No idea who that would be. Yes. What a secret.
Rogers.
Well, Jay, wanted to check in with you real quick because last weekend you were in Pittsburgh and you found time to head to an indie show. How was that?
Again, none of you guys go to indie wrestling shows. And I think if you do, you guys will have a lot of fun if you find the right show. Where I grew up, I grew up in a town that no one's ever heard of outside of Pittsburgh. And the big group is a show as a promotion that still runs all these years later, IWC. They get all the big names. They've had every huge name from Seth Rollins to CM Punk to Claudio to Daniel Bryan, Colt Cabana. Everybody. Brian, you and I went to one or two of those shows back in the day. Mm-hmm. But I closer to where I live, actually the town where I bought my parents their house. There's a group that's been running there for about 14 years called RWA, and they are in an old gym that actually I started playing basketball when I was a kid in this gym. They have been packing this gym solid they've been running for 14 years. I'd say for the last 10 years, they're getting 300 to 400 people every show. Very rarely do they ever bring in names. It's all the local talent. And the only name that was there this time was Crazy Steve from Impact.
Yep, heard of him.
But this show was more crowded than I had ever been to. A friend of the show, Mike Doherty, he's on commentary. So I hang there with his kid. And Bodie, who's the smartest 8-year-old when it comes to wrestling I've ever met. A great show, and I got to participate in their media scrum after. It's called The Aftermath. It's coming out later this week online, and I got to talk to J-Rock leading up to his steel cage match with the Rev Ron Hunt for the RWA title in April. I also talked to the Gambinos after a successful tag team title defense, and I talked to Patrick Hayes, who is just if MJF was a little bigger, I could see Hayes on that level. Like, Hayes is the ultimate heel. And if you are looking to see a little bit of RWA, go to indiewrestling.us. It was a great show. And I was glad to be asked to be a part of the media scrum. And maybe in the future I'll get to go back and check it out the next time I'm home. So it was a great time. And I know I give you guys shit about not doing stuff I ask you to do. Go check out an indie show. Whether there's 20 people there or 200, the indie scene is bigger than ever. Mm-hmm. And you should go support indie wrestling because it's so much fun. So much fun.
Well, we'll look for that. Make sure you share that link.
I will. I'll make sure the social team gets it whenever it comes out. But yeah, it was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Love it. That'll be cool. And yeah, that's where it all starts in the indies, and then eventually you work your way onto a major company, and maybe if you're lucky, you end up on WrestleMania. And that leads us to our final part of this week's show. So Sean Ross Sapp put out a tweet maybe a couple weeks back, and I thought this was a fun exercise, if you will. And what he put out was, if you had to make an all-time WrestleMania card based on past matches, how would it look? Now, again, this is all matches that actually happened at the 38 WrestleManias that have happened, and you can only use each wrestler once. So you can't do a card of 10 Hulk Hogan matches, right? No. So that's how it works. And so if you really wanted to, you're Nick Hogan, I guess. So along with using each wrestler only once, here was the breakdown of the criteria for the card. You could do 2 world title matches, 2 women's title matches, a celebrity match, an out of retirement match, a present versus past match, a tag title match, a secondary title match, and then one more miscellaneous match of your choosing. I thought, guys, there was definitely a couple of these that I edited and went back and rearranged. This was fun. This was a lot of fun to do. Who would like to share their card first?
I'll go. Nobody else wants to go. All right,
ahead, my friend.
We start off the show with the out of retirement match.
Oh.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat against Kane. Total clash of styles.
Wait, what?
Wait. That match never happened. It has to be matches that actually happened at WrestleMania. Those were the directions.
Whoa! Yeah. I thought it was.
Yes, those were the directions.
I thought it was. I thought it had to be. I thought it had to be people that participated in a WrestleMania.
No.
Here. No. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of mine.
Then this is stupid. I might as well just leave.
I'll give you an example of mine.
This is why it should have been anybody, anywhere. Create your own WrestleMania.
No. Everything was clear.
Watch.
We're just going to create a night of matches that already happened. What the fuck's the point of that? That doesn't even make sense.
Because you're putting the dream card together.
No, you make your own dream card with your own matches. These aren't dream matches. This is a Tony Khan booking.
We could do that next week. No, that's perfect. But I'm going to give you an example of the.
I don't want an example. I already get it. It doesn't make sense.
It makes sense to 3 of us.
You know what? Somebody else go. I'm going to just go somewhere.
Okay.
Do that button where you can stop the video. It's on the top right corner.
Well, it works.
You're supposed to turn your camera off. So it works out.
It's amazing.
You know what? I will gladly go. Okay, so it works out great that I open up the card with the out of retirement match.
Kane versus Ricky Steamboat.
Kane versus Ricky.
Stop it.
I kid you not. I have that.
What's going on?
I'm kidding. No, I do have Ricky Steamboat teaming with Jimmy Snuka and Roddy Piper versus Jericho WrestleMania 25.
Okay. That was a fun one.
and I'm crossing them out because I have a lot on this clipboard.
Okay.
I actually didn't even set it first match to last. I kind of just went down the rundown. So
yeah,
I put that on there to kind of tease Jay. Present versus past, WrestleMania 18. I have Hogan versus The Rock.
Yep.
I did have to do a quick double check to make sure I didn't duplicate anybody because that was part of the rules, right?
Yep.
Okay. Tag title match. WrestleMania 16, otherwise known as WrestleMania 2000. Also one of the best video games ever created on the Nintendo 64, WrestleMania 2000. Thank you very much. The triangle ladder match, Edge, Christian, Dudley's, Hardys. I was looking at it. I was like, would that be on to be a miscellaneous because it throws in a ladder?
You could.
I have that as a title match. Let's go right to that miscellaneous match. WrestleMania 13, my top 3. I would have to really think hard what could honestly beat this. I know when we did top 5s in the past, 5 counts, I put this as my favorite match of all time is WrestleMania. Bret Austin submission match, Ken Shamrock, the double turn, phenomenal, perfect. And if Jay's going to crawl in there and turn around in that chair as like Dr. Evil, that would be pretty awesome. Secondary title match, I have ladder match, WrestleMania 10, Razor versus Shawn. Celebrity match, recent, just 2 years ago, Damian Priest, Bad Bunny versus Miz Morrison. And then the 2 men's title matches, 2 women's. I'll go women's, then men's. Also on WrestleMania 37, that Bianca Sasha, just the emotions that started it off. And then WrestleMania 34, I put the undefeated Asuka versus Charlotte. And then the 2 world title matches, I was there for one of them, Brock Roman with Seth cashing in. Nice. It's kind of like a combo. And then WrestleMania 30, I absolutely love Andre Hulk, but I wanted the present versus past, so I couldn't use Hulk again.
Yeah, that was
the emotion of Daniel Bryan beating Randy Orton and Batista. It was phenomenal. That triple threat, beat one, the whole yes chant movement, perfection.
Yeah. Nice job. These are tough. And that's the fun one. Like you said, you want to go, title match, Hogan, Andre, right? And then you go, but present versus past, Rock and Hogan. In my mind, there's nothing better than that one. So that's the fun part about that exercise. I'll go next. I'll start. I had some similar ones to you, Kev, but some ones that I ended up changing. My miscellaneous one was also Bret and Austin at Mania 13. My secondary title, Razor and Shawn in the ladder match. My tag team title match. Now, this is one where I ended up changing a little bit. I went with WrestleMania 6 Demolition versus the Colossal Connection, which was Andre the Giant and Haku. And I'll tell you why. I also had the WrestleMania 2000 Hardys, Dudleys, Edge, and Christian. But because I have Razor and Shawn in their ladder match, I didn't want to have 2 ladder matches on the card. So I went with that one. It's the last WrestleMania appearance for Andre the Giant. So I said, that's a cool one to have. Demolition fucking ruled. So let's go with that one. Past versus present, Rock and Hogan. Once I realized it, I had to pick it. My out of retirement match, Edge versus Mick Foley and WrestleMania 22, the hardcore match. That match was a phenomenal match with the flaming table. Love that match. My celebrity match, Kev, I went even more recent. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. Nice. That's the funniest match of all time. I love that match. So that's where, and then my 2 women's and men's title matches. I went first with Mickie James versus Trish Stratus at WrestleMania 22. That was maybe the first women's championship match that actually had like a story going into it that wasn't like, it's the Playboy pillow fight or, the Bikini Battle Royal women's
championship. They did that the next
match.
year.
Yes, yeah. So that was the first one they tried to do like an actual story as Mickey was in full-on stalker mode of Trish. So that's my first one. My second one, also with yours, Kev, Sasha and Bianca at Mania 37. My 2 world title matches. I went with Brock and Kurt at WrestleMania 19. Nice. And I went with one also that I was there for, Undertaker and Batista at Mania 23, because I had to put Undertaker on the card because of the streak and everything else. And I thought, how do we work in Undertaker and Brock with the streak being broken, or Undertaker, Shawn Michaels? And I couldn't figure out a way. So Undertaker and Batista is an underrated heavyweight championship match. That was a great one. I thought there's a chance Batista could take the streak, but of course, Taker took it down. So that's my card. Let's go over to Joe, and then we'll see what's what here. Joe, go ahead.
I'll be quick. My specialty match, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25.
Oh, see, there you go. You figured out a way. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. That's my specialty match. My IC title match, since Shawn can't be in it, you both picked the ladder match. I'm going with Steamboat versus Savage, WrestleMania 3.
Yep.
I had to get Savage on the card. Yeah. The tag team championship match will be the Edge and Christian, Dudley's, Hardy's, WrestleMania 17, not 2000, the one the next year where Edge did the spear off of Hardy. And you got Lita involved. Spike was involved. Like, there was more run-ins. It was a little bit more fun than the one the year before. They kind of like got into the groove of things. And then we got the women's title match, Nikki versus Trish, WrestleMania 22, and then we got the other women's title match was Bianca versus Becky from last year. I thought that match was better than the one with Sasha.
Okay.
And the Legend match, Legend versus current, it's Rock Hogan. That one was obvious. It's like it was made for that one. There was no other one to do that. And the 2 title matches, because they got to be on the card. Cena versus Triple H, WrestleMania 22.
Okay.
Because you don't have either one of them on there.
I don't. Yep.
And because they got to be on the card, Roman Brock, WrestleMania 38, title for title last year.
That match sucked.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
The SummerSlam match was a million years better with the fucking
right, but you said WrestleMania, and I followed the directions. You had to get four. You had to get those 4 on the card somehow.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
There was no other way I could have done it. I got Savage, I got Hogan, I got Shawn. I couldn't get Austin because he always faced The Rock or Shawn.
That's why I snuck in Austin and Brett, because it's not a title match. I put in the
I had that, but I knew that fanboy Kevin would put that one on there, so that's why I went with Undertaker versus Shawn. So
I thought Kevin was going to do,
which is still phenomenal.
Savage on there.
I thought Kevin was going to do Brett versus Bob Backlund. I thought that was going to make it in there. Not so much.
I was almost going to go Brett versus Vince McMahon. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, I know. That was under consideration. Joe, what was your celebrity
Which part
match?
was
the celebrity match. I was trying to go really fast. My celebrity match was Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bad Bunny.
Okay, which was what Kevin had.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
That's what you had?
That was your celebrity, right?
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
All right. Oh, good times. Jay, what do you have to say? Done. Anything, Jay?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
If anything, I will say this. If Kane did go against Ricky Steamboat, I feel that the Dragon...
I don't give a fuck what you guys say. My card is better than all of yours combined.
Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
And here we go.
Can't wait.
To us.
The miscellaneous match. Pat McAfee and Bobby Heenan versus Jim Cornette and Jerry Lawler.
Oh, my God.
I'll be back.
Women's title match 1. Medusa against Rhea Ripley. Women's title match 2. Charlotte versus the Fabulous Moolah.
Okay.
All these in prime, of course. In their prime.
Yes, of course. Yes,
not beyond the grave. Looked like she was 80.
Yeah.
Secondary title ladder match. Okay. Macho Man, this is for the IC title. Macho Man versus Cody Rhodes versus Tito Santana versus Randy Orton versus Roddy Piper versus Kofi Kingston.
That's good.
All former IC champions. My tag team title match, triple threat. Demolition versus the Usos versus the New Age Outlaws.
Like that?
Our
Era's match. Yeah.
Our celebrity match. Mr. T, Bad Bunny, and Snooki versus Lawrence Taylor, Logan Paul, and Maria Menounos.
It's a celebrity over explosion. I love it.
So who wins that match? Because the celebrity always wins.
Past versus present.
It's a draw.
Andre the Giant versus The Undertaker.
Okay.
Heavyweight title match 1. Bruno Sammartino versus Triple H. And our headliner, heavyweight title match 2, Hulk Hogan and Roman Reigns. That is how you book a card. Much better than all three of you with these stupid fucking rules. And
I follow the directions, so
I don't give a shit.
You got disqualified. So if I had to grade this, that's you got it returned to you. I'll give you a chance to do the assignment over again for half credit.
Fuck that.
This guy on the text messaging was
That's what you do, motherfucker. 75 questions, please clarify. Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? We're not doing this, but we are going to do this. But we're not going to do this. You have to do this. But yeah. So
Jason's on making a point there, because that did cost me a lunch for WrestleMania with all your text messaging about rules.
May I go back to that email that I sent with this exercise?
No, because I don't care.
The
only reason I'm here is so I don't get fined.
That's fine. The second sentence of the email says it's putting together your Mania card based on past matches that have already happened.
Yeah. So to me, that meant people that were on a WrestleMania card create your own card.
Matches that have already happened. Yes.
They've already been in matches. They've been in matches.
Jason, this is what you're getting at here. You're
I
missing
don't
the
care,
point.
Joe.
It says past matches, not past participants.
Not past wrestlers that have been on Mania. Past matches that have already happened.
Well, my idea.
I love you, buddy. I love it.
My idea was so much better than this.
Let me go on to sentence 4. Again, these are matches that already happened, not dream matches.
These aren't dream matches. I created my own card.
If anything,
that's what
based off of wrestlers who have worked at WrestleMania.
If anything, I can side with Jay on this.
God damn, I need a drink.
Psych! You were wrong.
Go get one. Go get one. I can finish this show.
Cheers.
Oh, you're pouring out of a growler? Is that wine or is that beer?
Maybe.
That's wine?
No,
you're doing wine?
This is beer. This is from my local brewery that I'm in the mug club.
There's 3 X's on it. It's just like
It's
moonshine.
This is a WrestleMania jug band here.
Is it a stout?
If anyone is interested,
it is a stout. Yes.
If anyone would like to come to the mean streets of Fort Wayne, I did get a new keg on tap tonight to drown my sorrows.
I love Fort Wayne. The Mad Ants are the best.
Yes. Shout out to the Mad Ants.
Sorry, I'm just drinking Diet Coke.
Yeah, that's how I do my spring break too. All right, we're off the rails, guys. But this has been fun, and nevertheless, next week is big. We will have the WrestleMania preview and predictions, and Jay, maybe your schedule will have changed 180 even since then. So we'll get all the updates on your schedule because it's going to be amazing. At That Wrestle Pod for all the socials, youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you have, please share that so we can get more subscribers. That would be fantastic. Whatamaneuver.net for all your merchandise. Enjoy wrestling, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Follow That Wrestle Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.